Hello and welcome to another adventure. This time I'm travelling solo to the city of Ghent in Belgium. After arriving, I checked into my hotel and grabbed some bitter balls as a snack. After a good night's sleep, I woke up early to explore the city of Ghent, which is one of Belgium's oldest cities and was once the capital of Flanders. How cool does that building in front look? I don't know if you can see it on camera, but all these carvings. Holy crap. I'm here now in Ghent, and this seems to be the main area where everything is, so all the historical kind of landmarks and things. So the first place I'm going to go to is just up here. It looks like an old castle, so I want to explore that and see what's going on. From the outside of the city where my hotel is, it's very industrial. I thought, I'm not really feeling this much. But then when you get here, it's like, oh wow, it's very like Bruges. So far so good. It's got very similar vibes to Bruges, except it's a lot more spread out than Bruges. Bruges is more condensed, I feel, from my very short time being here, but it feels like it's much bigger. Definitely gonna enjoy exploring here, I tell you. So this looks like the place where all the boats take off from, if you want to go on the river, which I might do, you know, depends if I'm feeling the vibes and if I've got enough time. It's very gothic-y in its style here. So many quirky buildings and things. The castle looks so dramatic. I thought I have to explore it. So we should have the big reveal soon. I haven't seen this place yet in the flesh, so we're going to see it together. Oh, and an orange truck is going to ruin it potentially, so I'm going to wait, I'm going to hold back. I do see a pink elephant, so I do approve of the pink elephant. Oh wow, that is cool. So let's go inside and see what the story is. So I got my ticket. It costs €13 to enter, so let's go and explore. Thin stairs. I wonder how high it goes. So this is Gravenstein Castle, also known as the Castle of the Counts, and this castle served as a court of law and a prison. The castle even had its own torture chamber in the dungeon, with executions taking part inside or in front of the gatehouse. Under medieval law, you had to plead guilty before being sentenced, so torture played a big role in this. Look, there, those chutes that you lift up and drop your cannons and things down below. Shall we have a look through the window together? Shall we? The castle's defences were really good, and it was in the perfect location to keep a watchful eye on the city. I love when you find rooms that are empty. Kind of makes you feel like you've gone back in time more. Look at all these swords. This is definitely smaller than I thought it was going to be on the inside, but it does look dramatic, I'll give it that. Very dramatic castle. So this medieval castle dates back to 1180 and was the residence of the Counts of Flanders until 1353. I think I'd make a good countess. More like a kind of a count, as in vampire, than anything. And we're going through here. Looks like it's going to rain. What do you guys think? I love the architecture on this place. It's very, very cool. Back at the start now. That's a cool little castle. I quite like that. I like just wandering around it though. I don't like taking in loads of historical facts, to be honest. I just like getting a feel for the place. I really enjoyed exploring that castle. It was so cool. That is some serious beer in that shop. Oh my gosh. This looks like a good spot to grab some breakfast. Doing it in style, look at that. Belgian waffle with strawberries, chocolate and cream, and a Coke Zero. So I'm in the heart of all of this now, and I'm going to try and attempt to bite into my waffle. This is drowned in chocolate. I'm not going to complain. Breakfast in Belgium. Nothing like fresh strawberries and cream. I love that combination. Waffles, cream and chocolate. Oh, it's got a little knife on the end of the fork, like a little serrated bit. That's cool, so I can cut the waffle. Ah, they think ahead. How to Make Anything Look Disgusting by Kate Hickey. Oh my god. It tastes delicious, but I've somehow made it look like a ball of mess, and I've broken my fork. Oh my god, can I make any more mess? Look at that old post box, how cool is that? So that was probably the most messy breakfast I've ever consumed. I've literally ended up with it all over my face. So I think I'm going to take a little boat trip because I feel like I'm in the mood. Well, that's handy. I went up to the ticket counter. It cost €10 for this boat ride, and he said there's one leaving in 5 minutes, but I can take a seat. So I look forward to going on this boat ride. It's nice and dry at the moment, but it looks like it's going to rain later on today. So fingers crossed it stays dry for while we're sailing. Do you reckon I should drive the boat? Can you imagine? Like 007, more like 00 negative. The only one thing I've noticed so far is, I think it's just bad luck, but every time I've been to like a cafe or a restaurant or something like that, or like that waffle place, I'm so used to places having bottles of water, bottles of water, but there's no bottles of water anywhere that I've been to. Either they've all sold out or they just didn't have any to begin with. There's 1 or 2 places that have sparkling water, but the last place that I went to, they only had beer and soft drinks, unless I wanted a hot drink, which I really wasn't in the mood for. I don't know if it's because like a lot of parts of Europe you can drink the water from the tap, which is why they don't bother with it, but I forgot my bottle of water, my empty bottle. So anyway, I'm just blabbering about water here because I'm right next to the river. I kind of regret my breakfast choice because though the waffle was really good, it's way too sweet for your first meal of the day, I think. I feel really hyper but also stodgy at the same time, which is a kind of a weird combination. I'm going to see the sights from the comfort of this lovely boat and just take in the views from the water. So I'll see you guys later. So we set off, starting our 40-minute boat ride, sailing through the city. We travelled along the River Lys, which brought wealth to Ghent through its production of grain, and this is the grain harbour, which was the beating heart of medieval Flanders. Grain was stored in this building here for 2 weeks and distributed to bakers around the area. However, most of the grain was transported to the other side of the grain harbour and used for making beer, with children and adults consuming 1 litre of beer every day as the water was so dirty. Back in the day, if you had access to grain, you were a very wealthy person. Coming up, you can get a view of the 3 towers of Ghent, St Nicholas Church, the Belfry and St Bravos. Alongside the river is a Dominican monastery, which had a toilet that fed out into the already polluted river, and it is said that this is where the term "holy shit" came from. Along this stretch, many students live, and once a year the water has to be drained to get all the bikes out of the city. They usually pull between 200 and 500 bikes from the water. This was such a nice boat ride, and you get a really cool view of Gravenstein Castle from here. It's got quite cold now, I'm not going to lie. Ooh, it's September and it's freezing. So I really enjoyed that boat ride. That was really fun. Lots of quirky little facts actually about this area. So there's a place that I saw from the river. It's kind of like the quiet district where you're not allowed bars or restaurants or anything like that. It's just purely residential. So I'm going to have a quick look at that on dry land. Plus you can get some cool views of the castle from there. So that's where I was on the water. This is such a cool perspective. Now, something really funny happened here. Years ago, students protested because the price of beer went up from 60 francs to 90 francs. They took over the castle and they were throwing tomatoes and everything from the kind of shafts at the top to get down the price of beer, because beer here has always been a very important thing. Couldn't drink the water here, so both adults and children would drink beer as their main source of hydration because the water was too dirty here to drink. So I think we're entering the quieter zone of Ghent, so let's walk along and explore a little bit of it. It's quite a popular place to go on dates and things, not just because it's so quiet, but also because these willow trees. It said that if you go there with your lover, whoop, and you kiss under these trees, your love will last forever. So, ooh, hello tree. No kissing going on under here for me. No bars or anything along here. It's just residential really. It's actually illegal for anything like that to be here because they want to keep it nice and quiet and peaceful, which is good, I think. These two love birds. I like the city, it's nice. It's very, very chill. And the city, guys, was also apparently voted the 9th happiest place in the world to live. I continued along the quiet streets in search of a good spot to grab a nice Belgian beer, stopping off at a place I'm going to really struggle to say called Het Waterhuis Man de Berkant, which was situated right next to the river. So this is a Ghent beer. It's called a lute, and lute means fun, to have fun. Gives a whole new meaning to let's have some fun, doesn't it? Lute. Lute. That's a really nice beer. They've got a few local beers that are made in Ghent. So I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the chill vibes of this bar. It's really nice and cozy in here, and it started to rain outside, so everything looks a bit more dreary now, so I'm glad I'm in the warm away from the rain. I will see you guys in a little bit after I've had a beer or two. Those were some great beers. Now time to head over to St Michael's Bridge, which is only a 5-minute walk away. The bridge was built in 1927, and this whole area looks so dramatic as you walk across. So this is St Michael's Bridge in Ghent, and it's quite beautiful really. There's St Michael there, up there, fighting against Satan on the bridge. This is the area. St Michael's Bridge. It's very gothic, very, very gothic. Look at this. I mean, for goodness sake, you've got these amazing gothic buildings here. It just looks like another world. That beer place was amazing. There's a little bus going off, the 11 to Ballermersen. I don't know how to say that. That beer place was so nice. The owner was so friendly and has some fantastic recommendations, so I would recommend there if you are in Ghent. There's the castle where I was at before, right over there. See that? So everything is very much connected here. I'm so glad I missed the rain this morning because it was pouring earlier, but I think it's going to start pouring again. So I'm going to head off, check out what else is in Ghent. I left the bridge and had a quick look at some of the graffiti that was around the area. It's like the Sermon on the Mount or something, that's what it makes me think of. I don't know about you guys. We've got the lamb on the altar up there. Do you know what I mean? Definitely Sermon on the Mount vibes, that's what I'm getting. Is that God? I don't know. There's definitely kind of religious vibes there. Like the Netherlands, there's a lot of bikes around here. So, I thought I said Haribo, it says Hardoe. Oh dear. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm missing home, because I haven't been away that long. But I do fancy something a little bit home-esque. I'm not thinking McDonald's, but I'm thinking some Indian food. Because Indian food and the UK are synonymous with each other. Let's go for some Indian food for our dinner. I headed to Indian Masala to grab some dinner. Sometimes only Indian hits the spot. So I think what I'm going to go for is a Kingfisher beer, and I'm going to go for a vegetable momo and a paneer tikka masala with naan bread. That is what I'm really in the mood for. This seems like a really nice sort of chilled restaurant. Got lots of narratives. I don't know if that's Nepal portrayed in the pictures. There's obviously the Taj Mahal there. So this place is called Indian Masala and it's in Ghent, and I'll let you know if it's any good. But the smells I can smell right now, the aroma of this restaurant, and I've got like a nice little kind of corner table here that, because I arrived early, I kind of got to pick. So I'm here next to the window and it's just me in this little corner. Everyone else is kind of crammed next to each other, but I'm kind of in this little secluded area, which is perfect for filming actually. Kingfisher is a really nice beer actually. Nice Indian beer. Don't fancy that. They do have Stella and some other beers, but I love kingfisher. You wouldn't think I worked in a bar with the head that I just poured there, but never mind. So I've ordered a vegetable momos, which I absolutely love. They're kind of like dumplings, but vegetable. So here we go, we've got the momos. Just gonna lift that up. There's a lot of momos there for your money. This looks like sweet chilli. I love momos. If you like dumplings, you'd love the momos. You can get them vegetable or you can get the meat. Very, very hot, so picking them up is hard. Just a shot of it inside. I've also ordered a paneer tikka masala. I love paneer cheese. It is so good. So it's basically Indian cheese in a tikka masala sauce, and that's going to hit the spot. I know it already. So this is my paneer tikka masala. It looks really good and smells amazing. There's the naan bread, and it actually comes with rice, which I didn't realise. Let's just dish it out right now. Probably won't eat as much rice. It fills you up too much, I think. So let's get some of that paneer tikka. I love paneer. Like I've said before, it's one of the nicest cheeses. I absolutely love it. India knows how to do cheese, I tell you. And let's go for a little bit of the rice with the paneer. Lovely and creamy. And anyone that knows that's ordered Indian food that goes for tikka masala, it's not spicy in the slightest, but that's kind of what I want. I like a nice flavourful dish at the moment with kind of a 0 spice factor, but lovely flavour factor, 100% flavour factor. Let's get some naan bread. Just go and dip that in there. Obviously in Indian culture you don't use knife fork at all, you just scoop it with your hand. The flavours are just insanely good. Very, very tasty. I'm going to inhale this food and I'll see you guys in a bit. Look at these little critters. And anyone that knows me, I'm a unicorn. I'm sucking on a sweet at the minute. It's a really nice bit of food. However, I did get coated in beer. Bless the guy. Got a free beer. That was good. But I'm a smidge damp. I'm going to head back to my hotel, which is like half an hour away from here. And then I'm going to collapse in a heap on the bed. En route back to my hotel, I couldn't resist getting some sweets for Tig. Ghent was a cool place to visit, with such dramatic buildings. I really enjoyed exploring it. I headed back to my hotel and thought I'd share some of my water struggles with you guys before going off to bed. Basically, I've really struggled in Ghent to get water. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but I have. I've struggled to get water. This hotel seems to have beers and has Cokes and has lemonade, even has chocolate milk in a tin. But I can't get water. They have sparkling water. Well, yesterday they had sparkling water in a tin, which is what I went for. But today they were sold out of it. So I was like, and you know when you really are dehydrated, you just want water. I went downstairs again and I thought, you know, they had that a tiny bit of water left in the dispenser thing with some limes and lemons in it. But it had been so infused that it was quite bitter and it gave me a headache because I was so dehydrated. I don't know if anyone else experienced this in Ghent, the lack of water. Nowhere sells bottles of water, it's just not a thing. Some places they just won't pour you water in places, it's really weird. You can occasionally see sparkling water in a bottle, but you don't always want to be drinking fizzy water. I just wanted water, and the whole day I've just not found anywhere. Thankfully I had this bottle from the Netherlands. It had about a quarter bottle of water in this, so I drank all of that, and I've got a tiny little bit I'm keeping for the middle of the night. They restocked the fridge at midnight, so I got a can of Perrier fizzy water and they gave me some ice cubes, so I'm eating those. The ice cube has been the first fresh water that I've had all day, and I regret having those beers because I didn't know I was going to have such a water deficit today. I've decided now
1,000,000% my favourite drink, water. If I was on an island and all I could drink was one particular drink, it would be water, because you never get tired or sick of water, but you do get tired and sick of everything else. So I think water is the winner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my time in Ghent today. I had a really fun time, bar the water issue. It's a wet, drizzly night in Ghent, so I'm kind of glad I'm indoors at the moment. Good night from Ghent. Until the next adventure.